I was at Sony's HQ in Tokyo a few weeks ago, which you would know if you saw my video about RGB mini LED. But while I was there, I also got an early look at the new Sony Bravia A Mark II QD-OLED that's officially announced, so I can finally talk about it. Essentially, it's a follow-up to the A95L, which is regarded by many in the TV reviewing world and much of the Tom's Guide TV team here as just an absolutely epic TV. But there are some key refinements that push Sony's QD-OLED tech even further in the Bravia A Mark II. First off, the Bravia A Mark II keeps Sony's one slate design, meaning it's got that seamless, minimalistic look with multi-position feet for flexible placement. If you're familiar with the A95L, this will feel familiar, but maybe a little too familiar because the 77-inch A95L is sticking around, so the Bravia A Mark II isn't a full-on replacement, it's more of an evolution. This set will be available in 55 and 65-inch sizes only. The biggest upgrade to the Bravia A Mark II is its HDR handling. When I was at HQ, I got to compare the Bravia A Mark II side by side with Sony's BVM HX3110 reference monitor, which is used for 4000 nit HDR content grading. Although I couldn't film this demo, I did get to watch a sunrise scene, and on most OLEDs you'd get like a bright glow, but a lot of that detail and definition would get lost in the peak brightness. Here, I could actually see the outline of the sun with smoother color transitions and more defined highlights, rather than that typical clipped look. The gradation tones look incredible. There's subtle highlights that had way more nuance, making bright areas feel more natural and realistic. That extra peak brightness doesn't just help with highlights though, it also improves the color accuracy. The Bravia A Mark II preserves skin tones better than most OLEDs I've seen, avoiding that oversaturated or unnatural look that you sometimes get when a display tries to boost brightness without maintaining color accuracy. Of course, this was just my first impressions. We will have to test this TV in the lab when it becomes available, so let me know in the comments if you'll want to see a full review with those benchmarks here on the channel. As for audio, Sony is still using Acoustic Surface Audio Plus, where the screen itself acts as the speaker. This gives dialogue and sound effects a more direct, realistic feel, since the sound is coming from the exact spot on the screen where it should. Across the board, Sony still has one of the best implementations of TV audio, though most people will still probably want to pair it with a soundbar for a full home theater setup. And with a Sony soundbar, you'll get the Acoustic Center Sync feature where the TV speakers and the sound system will actually meld together for a more refined sound placement. Now here's where things get a little tricky. The Bravia A Mark II is only available in 55 and 65-inch sizes. There's nothing larger that's coming for this model. That means if you want a larger QD-OLED from Sony, you're still going to be looking at the A95L, which, while is a great TV, like I said, it's already a few years old. And that might be where Sony will be at a disadvantage against LG's G5 OLED, which is offering way more size options, including up to an 83-inch model. So if you're someone who wants a truly large screen OLED, and I know for a fact that people do, I'm expecting LG might have the edge here. I also do tend to prefer WebOS as a smart TV platform, and there are a ton of new AI features packed in there, while Sony is sticking to Google TV, which is generally good, but I don't know. What's your take on it? Sony hasn't officially announced pricing yet, but if we look at the A95L, it launched at $2,800 for the 55-inch size and $3,500 for the 65-inch. I'd expect the Bravia A Mark II to land somewhere in that area, but we'll have to wait for confirmation. As for release timing, expect it to start shipping in mid-2025. Sony hasn't locked in those exact dates yet, so stay tuned. I'm expecting all of this info to come very shortly. So if you do happen to end up on this video after all that information has been announced, check the description for a link to Bravia A Mark II pricing and availability news. The Bravia A Mark II QD-OLED seems to be refining what made the A95L so great, with better HDR handling, improved color accuracy, and that same great premium design. If Sony's processing and backlight control are as good as they've been in recent years, this TV right here will have a very good chance at being the best OLED TV of the year. But let me know what you think. Does the limited size options or smart TV platform hold it back for you? If you liked this video, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button and turned on notifications so that you don't miss any upcoming videos. We've got some 2025 TV review units on the way to the studio, so be sure to stay tuned. That's it for me on this one. I'll catch you next time.